What's up, guys? I'm joined here by a special guest, Broshmo, NFL Draft Talent Evaluator, does a ton of videos on his own channel. I wanted to quickly catch up with him on what I think the Bears are going to do and run a couple ideas by him. What's up, man? How you doing today?
Doing well, man. I'm doing well. I am churning along.
Turning along. It's draft week, so to me, it's the most exciting time of the year. And when it comes to the Bears, our fan base is so ready because we've been a losing team for a long time. We haven't been to the playoffs, and this might be our last chance picking in the top 10 for a while. My pick that I want is Ashton Genty. I think when I look at this year's draft right now, used a lot of time to narrow this down. I think there's probably about a 30% chance we get Ashton Genty, 30% chance we get Tyler Warren, and then I have about 30% chance of the board. Anyone else out there could be a Kelvin Banks Jr. or someone else, maybe a Mason Graham if he falls to 10. I haven't completely ruled that out yet. What are your thoughts on Ashton Genty? Do you think there's a chance he can fall to 10? And what do you think about him as a player?
Never say never. Never say never.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
there's absolutely a shot that he can be available there at 10. Likelihood? Hell no. I can.
I don't
I
like
think
it.
the Patriots could pull a crazy maneuver and be like, screw it. We're gonna take a running back. Jaguars. They've been rumored to maybe have a little interest, and then of course the Raiders. That's kind of the hot team about taking Genty. I love Genty. I think he is one of the
Me too.
best running back prospects we've seen come out probably since Bijan. Bijan was a very extraordinary prospect in his own right. I don't think he is on that level. I don't want to say that. That's not fair. I would put him right behind Bijan if I had to stack it, but we're talking about someone who has a rare force missed tackle rate, low in center of gravity, eats contact exceptionally well, keeps moving the feet, stays upright. I know he wasn't used in the passing game a ton this year, but if you look to the prior year, over 500 yards receiving in 2023. He's got that pass catching upside. He's got shiftiness to him, and he answered a lot of the long speed. Not necessarily concerns, but it was like, oh, okay, he doesn't have home run speed. And then this year was like, I'm going to pop off like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 gains of 60 yards. So I'm not saying he's a perfect prospect, but he's a hell of a good one.
Yeah, to me, he's one of the safest players in this class, and you mentioned it. His contact balance to me is just absolutely special. And a lot of people will say oh, it's bad tackles, it's bad but the part of the problem is he just makes people look like bad tacklers because they hit him with things that would knock most running backs down, and he's able to just kind of bounce off it, continue his momentum, and keep going. And to me, it's just special. I love him as a player.
Absolutely. And I mean, this dude, you go to the Oregon game, there were multiple times where he had 2 defenders on him. He keeps moving his feet and he's able to break free. It's not just he's creating bad tackles. He's
He makes bad
beating,
tackles or
yeah,
good tacklers look like bad tacklers, and
yeah,
that's
right.
special. Yeah,
I mean, he's able to keep moving through multiple defenders. Like it is a rare contact balance.
yeah, 100%, man. I love it. And so Ashton Genty is my number one choice. The guy after that is Tyler Warren, who, when it comes to the Bears and Ben Johnson, yes, we have Cole Kmet, but Ben Johnson, we know when he was in Detroit, he has something that he prefers at tight end because he was part of the room when they decided, let's trade TJ Hawkinson away and let's draft Sam Laporta. He's a former tight ends coach. And when I see Tyler Warren, I see him as a guy who, even with Cole Kmet on the field for the first year or two, can be a guy and come in at 12 personnel, play fullback, play in the wildcat and actually take carries, be your big slot receiver, even be a big X receiver at times in the red zone. I think he's just a mismatch and a chess piece. And while I don't think the value for the Bears position need at tight end isn't really there, but Tyler Warren, top 6 player for me. How do you feel about Tyler Warren?
I like Warren a lot. I liked him coming into the year. And shockingly, that ended up being a good take because he ended up having a bonkers 2024. I remember I didn't think I was going to like his tape going into the summer, and he was way more athletic than I expected. The hands got so much better this season, and that was just present in his ability to score in the red zone. And yeah, sure, he's not going to make guys miss, but he's tough to bring down. And A lot of
And his
people are gonna
contested catchability is just
yeah,
special.
yeah, and a lot of people are gonna bring up, "Oh, next Brock Bowers." No, he's not that level of guy. He's not. But you're gonna see a lot of teams who maybe have a tight end already there, like a Cole Kmet, and be like, "Well, we could find a way to get this guy on the field." Brock Bowers, Raiders took him, didn't stop. They didn't. They had Michael Mayer, that didn't stop him. So yeah, he's gonna be in play for a ton of teams.
I love it. Yeah, he's one of the guys I think the Bears are kind of in a position we kind of just sit there and take whatever blue chip player falls. The other two guys I would consider blue chips that could fall to us would be Mason Graham or Will Campbell, who to me, I don't know if he's a left tackle because of the wingspan would be historically short in the NFL, but he's still one of the safest players in the draft because he's a plug and play starter at guard either way. Um,
Yeah.
to me, do you like either one of those, or what are your thoughts quickly on Mason Graham and Will Campbell?
Will Campbell, I actually don't like at guard in the NFL. I think he just
Ooh.
plays way too tall.
Do
And
you
I'm
think
all
he's still a
about.
left tackle then, or
I would, yeah, I figure he's a tackle until he proves he's not.
okay.
And I mean, yeah, he's got historically terrible wingspan, and it's wild, right? His pro day comes around, and he comes in with 33-inch arms, but the wingspan is
The
shorter than it was
wingspan
at the
gets shorter?
combine.
Yeah,
I'm just like, okay, well, regardless, that doesn't change shouldn't change your take about Will Campbell and his concerns, but he is a very fluid mover. I think he consistently had like the best zebra time during the on the field workouts. Great mover. He's going to be able to work out in space. I have more concerns with him at a guard where this dude stands up. Somehow he becomes taller when the play is going on.
he
And
does.
I was just like, what the hell? I don't know how that's going to work at guard. Consistently, guys are going to be able to out leverage you. And I just don't like that fit there. To me, I'm not saying it's make or break at tackle, that he's not going to be able to work at guard. But for me, there is that concern. I love Mason Graham, by the way. Dude's just twitched up monster. He might not be that 320 that he was listed at Michigan, but he was someone that lined up all along the alignment. Maybe, yeah, okay, maybe sure. You're not going to have him like sit over the center and play more of a nose tackle or one tech role, but he's still twitched up. He wins early. And if you are looking for a penetrator, he's the best penetrator in this class. There might be concerns with can he sustain blocks in the run game. I think if you're just going to use him as someone that could like fly through the gaps, then you can negate some of those concerns.
Awesome. Yeah, 100. I think both of those guys are blue chip players. Your concerns with Will Campbell, though, do add a level of concern to me because if he can't play tackle, then he's not, or if I'm sorry, if he fails at tackle and you don't think he's as good inside at guard, that does put a big question mark on him and not make him as safe as a prospect to me. Um, so really where the Bears are at sitting there, one of those guys could fall. But there's a chance, really, with only 5 or 6 blue chip players in this draft, that none of those guys fall and they have to pivot. And so, my guy I want to ask you about then is Kelvin Banks Jr. A lot of people see him inside at guard. Initially, when I watched him, I thought he was going to be shorter. I thought his arm length was going to be shorter, and I thought he was going to go inside to guard. He tested well at the combine. He has the 33-inch arms. He measured in at 6'4". So he's right there at the borderline numbers. Do you see him as a guard or left tackle in the NFL?
I see him as a tackle. Any of these guys that have played tackle, I think they're a tackle until they prove otherwise.
Awesome.
And
Even Wyatt
yeah,
Milam?
some people.
I
Some
was like,
people
not
do.
all of them, not all of them, but
Not all of them, not all of them. But I guess when we're talking about like top 50
yeah.
prospects, I would say if they've shown that they could play a tackle, like Donovan Jackson, to me, I would function as well. Tackle's more valuable. If we don't have an answer there, they're a tackle until they prove otherwise. But I like Banks. He's got a much higher floor than people give him credit for, I would say, because the dude, he's built well. He's built like a brick house, and I probably prefer him in a more vertical scheme. I think he does a good job climbing, Now, that doesn't mean he can't play like outside zone or can get out in front of screens or stretch plays and whatnot. But I think there are better guys that can do that. Not necessarily better guys, but better guys that are better at that specifically. But I think he's more put together as a technician than people think. He did get exposed a little bit in that Georgia game, and unfortunately couldn't get his payback because he was banged up. I think it was an ankle injury in
Yep.
the SEC championship game. Couldn't play, but I think he's more put together. He's someone that keeps his head on a swivel. He'll look out for stunts and loops, and I think he could play out there in space. You can, I don't want to say trust him on an island, but there's a little bit of ease there. Like, okay, yeah, we could put him on an island. He's a rookie. He's going to lose here and there. It is what it is. But again, he's a tackle until he proves otherwise.
I love it, man. He's a guy who I've been back and forth on, but heading into the year, he was one of my top 10 prospects. And overall, he's just a really good, solid player. And I think a lot of times when these guys are really good from early on and they stand out early and they have 3+ years of starting experience, guys will start to poke holes in their games. And the closer we get to the draft, I feel like that's happened with Kelvin Banks, but I like him. The other two players that are really talked about with the Bears right now that we brought in on 30 visits are Marion Hampton and Shamar Stewart. I think our fan base would be pretty unhappy if we took either of those guys at 10. I think they're both very talented prospects, but I don't know if they're top 10 players. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a big running back in the top 10 type of guy. Even running back in the top 20. Obviously, the pendulum's starting to swing the other way when it comes to the running back, just running back value in general.
Mhm.
Teams are playing too high as lighter boxes. The run game is now back in fashion. So if you could get that stellar superstar there at running back, then I would make a case, go for it. But with the caveat, your offensive line needs to be in place. And the Bears have made a tremendous effort to do that. Now, Marion Hampton, for me, feels rich in the top 10.
Same.
It's not like he had this crazy force missed tackle rate. I think it was like 0.24, which is fine. That's a good rate, solid. But if you're looking for exquisite, you're probably looking for guys that are like a 0.3. Genty's a 0.4, which is just ludicrous. It's nuts. It's
And
nuts.
when you talk about one thing I like to throw in there with that is the competition. A lot of people like to hate on the competition Genty faced. Look at who O'Marion Hampton played this year, and it's worse. There's no Oregon on that schedule. There's no Penn State on that schedule. It's bad.
Yeah, I mean, Genty, regardless, he had to be the offense
Yep.
every game. And that was shown in the Penn State game where outside of 2 fumbles, which this is what I love about Genty. His fumbles are always second effort fumbles. Him fighting for more yards, trying to gain ground, especially in a game like Penn State. He had to be the offense. So yeah, he's out there trying
Everyone
to.
knows you're getting the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of times he was hit behind the line of scrimmage, and I think he had like 14 or 16 forced missed tackles in that game.
It might have been 18, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, like it's still ludicrous. And you're like, well, look what he did against Penn State. It's like,
Over
okay, well,
100 yards, 18 broken tackles.
we're
Yeah,
talking a
look at it.
bunch of 4 and 5 stars against
Yep.
Genty and his ragtag group of Avengers here. It's like for what he was able to accomplish, I think it was stellar. So
And
I don't
against
get the
Oregon,
hate.
it was even better. Yeah, his Oregon tape is what really sold me, man. He
I
just
remember Derek Harmon, because I think I was speaking about it earlier, but 2 defenders. Genty had 2 defenders on him. He was still up. Derek Harmon came in to finish that tackle, knocked those 2 defenders down. Genty
and
just
Genty
bounces to the
bounces off.
outside for
Yep.
like 40 yards. It's
It's
just
crazy, man.
ridiculous.
Just crazy how he does. And Derek Harmon's one of my top 20 prospects. So it's not like it's just it's just some
Just some
random
guy.
guy. Yeah, so I love him. But yeah, I think this year's draft, man, it's an exciting time for me. I'm super excited for where we're at. And I think the Bears are in a beautiful position here to just add the best player available. Do you have any thoughts? Do you have a prediction for who you think the Bears will end up taking?
Man, I know Hampton's getting a ton of hype, and it makes sense. He gives you a pass catching upside at 6'2", 220, 223. But for me, his vision comes and goes. So I I probably would anticipate him more. You get to pick 12, and if he comes off the board there, that doesn't shock me much. But somewhere in the mid to late, I wouldn't like him at 10. Tyler Warren, I think, is probably the sleeper here
I
to
would
sneak
love it.
in and be a pick there. If he's still on the board, outside of that, it probably could be tackle. Maybe make the Bears are a mystery. They're always a conundrum. Maybe they trade down.
I
I
would
don't
love
know.
it if a team would make us an offer. I think we do it. But out of those blue chip guys, like you mentioned, I think Tyler Warren is probably the one with the highest odds of falling to us. If unless things go crazy, I think the Jets would probably take Mimbu, and tight ends always get pushed down the board a lot. Even last year, Brock Bowers should have been a top 10 pick, but he got pushed down the board because of his position. It could happen again with Warren as
Yeah.
well.
I mean, the problem there was it's because 6 quarterbacks went in the top 12.
Not
Not
having
going to
that
happen
happen this
this
year.
year.
Yeah. Don't have that talent this year, unfortunately. I wish. I'd like 2 to go, is my hope, is that 2 go in the top 10, which I'm even doubtful that happens. So
Yeah, I don't see 2 going to the top 10.
I don't even.
I don't know. I don't know if 3 make it in the first round. Some people have Jackson Dart sneaking up in there. Some people have Dart going ahead of Shador. This is going to be so fascinating. If you're putting out a prediction mock draft, good
Throw it out
luck.
the window.
Good luck.
Yeah. It's this year is not the year for it, because it's last year when you looked at the draft, most you could predict a lot of those top 10. They were chalky picks.
I did exceptionally well with my
Yeah.
prediction, my
The
predictive mock
only one,
draft.
yeah, Michael Penix was the one that most people didn't have. And it's
Yeah,
like,
he screwed me.
yeah, and it's like, even then, most people didn't have him taken. They had him taking Jared Verse or something, a defensive end, so it didn't really throw off the rest of the top 10. So it was a very chalky year. This year, there might be 1 or 2 chalky picks, and that's it. And then it's going to get wild. So
Yeah, I think there's probably a good shot. We get the top 4 probably goes the way people expect it. And then after that, it's like Jaguars, what are they gonna do?
please just take Mason Graham. Keep it chalky. I'd like it.
Yeah, right.
I'd actually be fine if we start out a little chalky this year instead of, don't throw surprises at me this year, because I'm not ready for it until a little bit after. But man, brother, it's been such an honor having you on, man. Anytime you ever want to have me on or you want to collab, just hit me up. I'm always doing NFL draft content. My favorite time of the year. Go ahead. This is my Chicago Bears channel. Let the people know where they can find you. And on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and YouTube. He has some awesome content over there. Make sure you check him out.
Yeah. You can find me on the YouTube at Broshmo. If you love draft content, then this is probably a good week for you to be around. But I do stick around in the summer. I do some deep dives on the NFL teams. I start my 2026 scouting.
Got to, man. Got to.
Yeah, I started early, and then season comes around, and I get to add new guys as it comes. So it's always a good time. It's always fun. You could also find me on the X. That's probably where I'm going to be posting some of my takes for next year's class during the summer. That's at Real Broshmo, because I'm a real one.
He's the real one.
Can
Awesome,
prove it.
man. Well, I appreciate it, man. Such an honor having you on, and I can't wait for the NFL draft.
Buckle in, strap in. It's gonna be nuts.
The Bears.